Hi, my name's Wayne Revel with Zoll Medical. I'm here with Jay Mullen from Trinity Ambulance Service, and Jay was one of our initial users of the E-Series in the back of an ambulance and helped us determine what was working and what wasn't. So Jay, tell us a little bit about what you found different in the E-Series that you really liked.
I found that the design of the E-Series is more stable for us, much more friendly. I like the fact that you kept the front of the package the same. I was able to turn it on and go right to work on the E-Series.
Right.
You know, I knew exactly where everything was and how to get around. The first trip we took it out was down a cobble-filled road. The road it's an old road. It's all cobble. About 40 miles an hour in the back of an ambulance, hooked up to a patient, and I got a great tracing on a 4-lead and a 12-lead EKG. I got a great tracing.
That's great. So it worked real well for you.
It did. It did. That impressed me. Being able to change colors on the display was nice. Having it being color-coded so that way we could ask somebody to look at the monitor and tell us what the blood pressure is. Look for the red part. Tell me what the red part is saying. Or being able to change the oscilloscope to different backgrounds and tracing lines and everything. Being able to change that to our weather conditions helped out quite a bit.
We had a local fire department come hose the E-Series down to see how it would withstand a high pressure washing, if you will. And as you can see, it did a good job of spinning the E-Series across the parking lot into an abutment. But as I went over and hooked it to a simulator, turned the device on, and you can see that a couple of times I'll change the tri-mode display, and it truly is easy to read in any environment, and we demonstrate that with this video along with it. Taking a pretty good beating from a high pressure fire hose and then charging it up and delivering 120 joules. The obvious occurred, and that was the paper got wet. Here we are simulating a drop off the top of a fire truck. As you can see, the side pocket came off, no big deal. The device is starting to get a little bit beat up, but once again, we hooked it to a simulator, turned it on, adjusted the display for optimum viewing, decided to see what would happen when we charged it up, and sure enough, we were able to deliver a shock into the simulator, and you'll see that on the display. You can see the difference that the display makes as you adjust it from black on white, white on black, and to color. Throwing it down the stairs was a bit of a challenge. Just kicking it off the top to see what would happen if it tumbled off a stretcher as you were wandering up concrete stairs, which happens occasionally. It flipped down the stairway. Once again, went over, attached a simulator to it, and now it's starting to look quite beat up. The roll cage is looking a little scuffed and nasty, but once again went from monitor to defib. You can see the crispness of the display in the indoor situation, and that's where the color display actually works the best. We go to charge, shock, and deliver the energy. Obviously we got a check recorder message because the paper was still soaked. We use the same device. Here we are in the back of an ambulance. The device is hooked to me, not to a simulator. We're not trying to shake the camera, that's just how bumpy the road was, and you can see the baseline is just as stable as can be. We then decided to try to run the device over. So we had a Ford Expedition which weighs close to 6,000 pounds. You can see it dug into the roll bar quite nicely and bent that over, but as we drove over the E-Series there was no damage whatsoever. We decided to try it without the roll cage. We're getting a little bit confident here. And as you can see, we did that, and once again, no damage because the outer housing of the E-Series is beefed up very nicely to withstand EMS abuse. Once again, changing the display, and it's quite viewable. Here we are. We tried to run over the E-Series with an ambulance. The problem was the ambulance is not four-wheel drive, so you can see what happens. And it's really not very pretty. We pushed the E-Series down the driveway. Actually ended up severing the cable because it was caught under the E-Series. Opened the paper drawer, paper flew everywhere. If you could see the bottom of the E-Series when we were done with this, it actually wore a hole through the outer case from through the outer housing from the abuse the ambulance gave it, but it was still working. Obviously couldn't attach a simulator to it because we had severed the multifunction cable.